Get ready, because you're now listening to Water Cooler Talk. Covering everything sports and sports news. From the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, the pros, the collegiate level, and everything in between. If it's about sports, then we're about it. So keep it locked to the absolute coolest podcast. Now, your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Water Cooler Talk, the coolest podcast in your ear. That means if you hear my voice, that means it's Wednesday. Everybody, I'm your host, Nick Frazier, and the other voice you hear on the other end is
Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Man, thank y'all so much, man. We are back again. We are back, man. You hear us? That means it's the middle of the week. It's Wednesday. Man, it's great to be back around the Water Cooler talking with you guys, man. Thank y'all again, man. Marcus, how you feeling today, boss?
I'm ready to go, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm so ready too, man. Everything's going good. Anything new in your world this week? Anything going?
Man, I'm ready for my kids to go back to school. That's about it.
Yeah. It's about that time, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you hear anything in the background, that is Marcus's children. They're going to be part of the podcast today if you hear anything in the background. So bear with us. And that's okay because children run the world. If you hear children, that means the world is still growing. And we love that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all again. Thank y'all so much. We are back again. Thank y'all again for listening to the Water Cooler Talk, man. Taking time out of your schedule, downloading the podcast, listening to the podcast, man. We enjoy it. We enjoy it. We enjoy it. And we thank you all. Again, man, taking care of some housekeeping things. Go follow us on our social medias, man. Follow us on IG and TikTok at The Water Cooler Talk. Again, that's at The Water Cooler Talk on IG and TikTok. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. Again, follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. Email us at WCTpod@gmail.com. Again, that's WCTpod@gmail.com. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, we want y'all to go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, man. Long form video content is coming soon. We are almost there, people. We are almost there. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search us on YouTube at Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Again, search us in the search bar on YouTube at Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Like, subscribe, engage with us, everybody. We enjoy it. Let us know how you feel, man. Comment with us, man. Comment on our stuff, man. We enjoy it. We thank y'all. As well, if you're listening to this, man, rate and review the podcast because that helps us out. So please, when you get done listening to this episode, go back and listen to the other episodes if you want to. And also, just rate and review the podcast, man. We would greatly appreciate it. And it is something that will help out the podcast. So thank y'all again. Thank y'all again. As always, we're trying to make this our full-time thing. So the more that you all engage with us, the more we can keep bringing you dope content because we do have dope content coming. And we can make it even more doper if you all stay a part of the Water Cooler Talk family. Marcus, we have a great show today, man. We have a great show today, man. How you feel about today's show, man? How do you feel about the game, the show today, man? What do you think? How do you think the outcome's going to be?
Man, I got a lot of DMs about last week's game.
I did too. I had a very spirited debate. Shout out to Kyle. I had a very spirited debate with Kyle.
And my brother, Travell.
Yes. Had a very spirited debate.
It was a lot of phone calls behind that one right there. DJ.
Man, what were they saying? What did they say?
Man, it's just a lot of great feedback, man. They were saying that last show was one I think they said it was the best show we did put out. That's what they've been waiting on.
Hey, it's one of them. It's one of the best shows, I would say. Yeah, I mean, we plan on keep bringing you good content. So yeah, man, if y'all ever want to interact with us, man, just DM us and DM us, email us, reach out to us, man. So we thank y'all, man. Hey, it's about that time.
Let's get it.
I hear the crowd. I think they're ready. The teams have already taken place. Coin toss is ready. It's time for the first quarter. Let's go.
It's now time for the first quarter.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in the first quarter. And again, thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the coolest podcast in your ear. We here every Wednesday. We are in the first quarter right now, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, the first topic in the first quarter, we are going to talk about some SEC football. We're going to talk about the best conference there is out there, all the conference expansion, all the conference realignment, and the most prominent one and the one that looks the most competent out of all of them is the SEC. And the question for today for the
Ohio
first
State fans will argue that.
All right. Okay. I will say this. The SEC runs college football. Wherever the SEC goes, college football goes. But I will say this. The question for today in the first quarter, which SEC team do you think will have the most surprising year this year? I think this is a very good topic. There's a lot of uncertainty in the SEC right about now, where it's starting to clear up because you had a couple of teams announce some starting quarterbacks, but there are some who have not. Yeah, Auburn. Yeah, we will talk about that on next week's episode, ladies and gentlemen. So tune into that.
Yes, sir.
Hint, hint. But which team will have the most surprising year this year, in your opinion, Marcus? Go ahead.
In my opinion, I'm gonna have to go with Arkansas. Razorbacks. Like I said, KJ Jefferson is in my Heisman hopeful. He threw for 2,648 yards last year, I think. And they got this guy in the backfield called Rocket Sanders, who was the second lead rusher in the SEC behind that young man from Ole Miss. So they got a good little offense. They got two I think all SEC players coming back on defense. They got they biggest hurdle really to me, I think, since they got two like new offense and defensive coordinators. I think that's gonna be the biggest hurdle for them this season, getting adjusted. But if they do, I think they could be scared.
Yeah, Arkansas is just one of those teams that it's like either going to be really bad or really good.
Really good. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? For them each season, like it's like no in between. Like, but
there's no gray area with them teams.
Not
like
at
that.
all. Not at all.
I feel the same way about Ole Miss though.
Yeah, you can say the same thing about Ole Miss. Yeah, but see, the thing about Ole Miss is Ole Miss has notoriously not been good on defense, except for that 1 year. Was it? I think it was 1 or 2 years. It was the land shark defense they had. They was calling themselves.
Freeze?
Yeah, Hugh Freeze.
That boy at Auburn now.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, I see that.
Them years they beat Bama.
They did beat Bama 2 years in a row. Yeah, Arkansas is a good. Arkansas has a really tough schedule.
Not for real. They got 3 pancake teams in the beginning of the season. That's the real reason why I picked them early on. They play some team that you don't know and I don't know. WCU. They got them at home. Then they play Kent State at home, and they play BYU at home. That's the kick off the season. That's an easy 3-0 start. Then they got they first test is at LSU. They gotta go to LSU. You know, the Valley gonna get serious down that thing. Then they play Texas A&M.
But see, the thing about them, the thing about Arkansas and Texas A&M, that's always been their kryptonite. So I mean, if you're looking at the schedule, like you said, WCU, Kent State, BYU, those all should be wins for Arkansas.
Yeah.
If you looking at the middle part of this schedule,
it gets tested.
That's what I'm saying. It gets tough.
I think if they split these games, they can pull off an upset in Texas A&M. And
that's a big if.
Yeah, that's a real big if. And pull off Ole Miss. I know they're gonna lose against LSU and Bama, or at least they should. At least they should.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Arkansas has a more complete offense than Alabama does. And
hey, watch yourself.
No, I believe that. I believe they're more solidified. I believe they're more solidified at the quarterback.
They got 3 quarterbacks that haven't settled on one.
Exactly.
I won't argue. I'm just saying for the listeners, hey, man, watch yourself.
I'm good. Hey, look, you come at me, trust me, I've already done my research. I love college football. I love football. I love sports. I would give it to you. What up then? I mean, I think Arkansas has a more complete offense than Alabama. They have a solidified person at quarterback. They have a better running back position. They have better receivers. And the offensive line at Arkansas has always been pretty good. In my book, that's 4 for 4 right there against Alabama on offense. Alabama offense to offense. Defense, Arkansas. I will say this right now. Arkansas's defense may be a little bit better than Alabama's. I will say that right now. Maybe a little bit better than Bama's. I think Alabama. I think Alabama may have a better run defense than Arkansas, but I think Arkansas's defense overall may be a little bit better. So to be completely honest with you, depending on how that part of the schedule comes in, because you talking LSU, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Alabama, and Mississippi State. And then Florida. That is a brutal 6-week stretch of games.
It is.
So if they come out of there, if they come out of that 6-3, if they can split those 6 games.
They can split on 2 games, like I said, man.
They can split those 2 games.
Because they finish out the season, Florida, Auburn, which I ain't gonna say they're gonna beat us, but
I don't see them beating Auburn.
Yeah, I don't see them beating us. Then they play FIU.
Mm-hmm.
Then they finish the season with Missouri at home. So it could end up being a decent season for them.
I mean, if you going that way, if you saying that, you looking at 3-0 starting the season. You're saying they'll lose to LSU, so that's 3-1. Texas A&M is a toss up. So right now, what do you have them against Texas A&M?
It's a toss up.
Okay, the game's at Arkansas, so I'm gonna give Arkansas home field advantage. But I'm gonna still say Texas A&M win that game. So that's 3-2. That's 3-2. That's 3-2. I think Arkansas beats Ole Miss, so that's 4-2. I think the Alabama-Arkansas game will be closer, even though that game is in Tuscaloosa.
Can I get a prediction? Early prediction?
Early prediction for that Arkansas-Alabama game?
Yeah.
I will go right now at this particular point in time.
Okay.
I am choosing Arkansas to beat Alabama in Alabama.
In Tuscaloosa.
In Tuscaloosa. I am picking Arkansas to beat Alabama.
No.
I think they beat Mississippi State.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they could beat Florida.
I think they beat Florida in Florida.
I think they lose to Auburn because I think Auburn is going to be a lot better than what people think. And I think Auburn, talent-wise, I'm not saying team-wise, but talent-wise, player for player, talent-wise, Auburn is better than Arkansas. So off talent, I'm going to say Auburn wins that game in Arkansas, but I think that's a close game as well. They beat FIU, and I think they beat Missouri. If you look at that, ladies and gentlemen, that is 1, 2, 3.
3 losses.
3-1, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2, 7-3, 8. That's a 9-3 season.
That's surprising to me.
That's a pretty good season for Arkansas. And then if they get a bowl game, they get a bowl game. Depending on who they play, that could be a 10-win season for Arkansas. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's surprising to me.
But
that don't happen very often.
But I will say right now, I am leaning towards Arkansas to beat Alabama. That is where I'm leaning.
Woo.
It is what it is. Which leads.
He's standing on that, y'all.
Which leads.
And he just reminded y'all he's standing on that.
Which leads into who I have as the most surprising team in this upcoming SEC season. It's the Alabama Crimson Tide. I don't think Alabama's going to be as great as people think they are, man. Alabama got a lot of question marks, man. I'm sorry.
I ain't gonna say they got a lot, but I would say they have the biggest.
No, they have a lot. Yeah, of course they have the biggest, of course, when you're talking about, the quarterback position. But they have a lot of question marks, man. I mean, starting off, of course, you're talking about the quarterback. I mean, they just had their second scrimmage. And I think Coach Saban was asked about it, and he gave I thought it was a very interesting response. He was like, they all threw the ball, they all got sacked, they all threw an interception, and they all did. It was something he said. And I was like, Like it sounds as if you are nowhere near close to the name of the starting quarterback at the University of Alabama, sir. The offensive line, man. I think the offensive line is not that great. It's not that great. I mean,
Whoa.
I'm being okay. Bryce Young was a quarterback last year at Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Will you say that the offensive line at Alabama was great last year?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. That young man was running for his life.
Exactly. It's the same guys coming back. Majority of the same guys coming back on offensive line.
I thought, like, we play O-line. I thought with time, with chemistry,
may get better. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe they will. Wide receivers. Who we gonna throw the ball to? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just not that. Maybe they just aren't advertising, or that one big name receiver hasn't come out yet. And maybe this may be the breakout season for that guy. But he got to have somebody throwing him the ball, though. He has to have somebody throwing him the ball. Running back position, I think they'll be good at running back. Let's go to the defense side of the ball. I think they're strong. I think the strongest part of Alabama's defense is those two guys, Dallas Turner and Kool-Aid McKinstry. That's those guys will anchor the defense. They should be All-Americans this year. But other than that, I mean, if you look at the defense last year, and I know they beat Auburn. I know they beat Auburn in the Iron Bowl last year, but Auburn ran the ball on Alabama's defense literally without no problem in last year's Iron Bowl. And everybody knew that Auburn was going into that game running the ball.
Yeah, because we had Cadillac.
Everybody
Cadillac
knew.
was the coach.
Everybody knew Auburn was going into that game, and they were running the ball because if you watch the season, it was a tumultuous season for Auburn. Firing the head coach in the middle of the season, and Coach Caddy had to come in and take over the last couple of games, rally the troops, and if it wasn't for he could have went to a bowl game if he would have just kicked the field goal in the Mississippi State game. That's all I'm saying. Just kick the field goal. But anyway, it is what it is. But we good. But I knowing everybody knew it was coming to the game when we was running the ball, and we still scored 28 points on that defense. Literally by running the ball. I think Robbie Ashford had one passing touchdown. That was a great pass to the back corner of the end zone. But I think all the other touchdowns were basically running touchdowns. Like they was running the ball on that defense. And pretty much most of those guys are coming back. So all I'm saying is, like, unless something changed in the offseason, I'm like, Alabama's going to be surprising. And I was on, ladies and gentlemen, next week, Auburn Attic will be on the show with us.
Yes, sir. Turnout time.
And I did a show with Auburn Attic. Go check out his YouTube, Auburn_Attic on YouTube. And we did a show. And I said this on his show. I said, look, man, I think Alabama would win 9 games next year. I think Alabama is a 9-3 team this coming season. I think they're a 9-3 team. I think, and I gave my prediction for Auburn this season, and we'll talk about that next week. But if you want to go see what it is, what I predicted, you can go watch that on his channel. But I think Alabama will win 9 games this year.
Man.
I think this is another 2010 season for Alabama where they went 9-3. I think it's just one of those seasons. I think something in my spirit just tells me I think it's one of those seasons. I think it is.
So you think it's gonna be another season where people question, has Alabama finally fell off the mountaintop?
I think people are already saying that.
Yeah, it's been said, but I'm just saying it's gonna be another year with the same conversation.
Oh yeah, people are already saying that. And I'll tell you this: if and this is a big if Georgia goes and wins another national championship, 3 in a row. Oh, never done. And then the guy that has won those 3 championships was your defensive coordinator that came from your basically tree. It's gonna get even louder for Nick Saban. I'm just saying. I mean, because now you got this guy nipping at your heels, and now he possibly could possibly come in.
I think Nick's solidified, man. That's just my opinion.
You think Nick Saban say what? Say it again.
He's solidified, bro.
Oh no, yeah, he is solidified. But I think the questions are gonna come now is, has the game passed Nick Saban? Is it time for Nick Saban to retire? That's what you're gonna start hearing a lot then. Is it time for
That's
Nick?
a good. That's a good one.
Is it time for Nick Saban to go? I personally think Nick Saban is still in his youthful age and he can still go out there and coach. And me personally, I think he is. I think he still can do it. But you got a juggernaut over there in Athens that came from your tree. It's gonna get a little bit harder. It's gonna get a little bit harder. But yeah, man, that's how we see it, man. That was a great first quarter. Marcus, how you feel, boss? How you feel?
We ready.
Okay.
You know, let's get it.
All right, man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we here. We here, man. It's about to get turned in this thing. Hey, guess what time it is, y'all? We about to head into the second quarter.
Now entering the second quarter.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Second quarter time, man. Thank y'all again for downloading the podcast, listening to us, giving our perspective on sports. Come sit around the water cooler with us every Wednesday. We thank you. Oh, Marcus, guess what? We in the second quarter, boss.
Sir, we are here.
Man. This topic in the second quarter, we going to the NFL now, ladies and gentlemen. And this topic has this has actually been a great debate if you ask some people, but some other people think it's not. But it was interesting. We're gonna give our perspective on it. And the question is, during that Patriots run, what is it, from 2001 to 2019, they won like 6 championships during that run or something like that.
Yeah.
Question that we're gonna try to tackle today is, who deserves more credit? Coach Belichick or the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady? Who you got, Marcus?
I want to ask this question before I answer that question.
Go ahead.
So, when you say that, are we talking about who we're picking for the Super Bowl, or who we credited for the Super Bowl? Or we just talking about the run in itself?
Who was responsible for that time period of sustained success? Who was responsible for that? Who gets more credit for that? In your personal opinion, you could be Super Bowls, it could be the run.
In my personal opinion, I'm going Brady.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Because the reason why I'm going Brady is because it's been times where Brady has led them to the Super Bowl without a top 10 defense, or they defense that's ranked below last in yards allowed, or like 25th in points allowed, and he had like a number 1 offense. So, like, if we talking about sustained greatness, like, I would say that every time he won the Super Bowl, his defense was top 10, but not every time he got there. So, you know what I'm saying? If we talking sustained greatness, I'm going to have to go with Brady. Like, because in the early Super Bowls, of course, you're going to say Belichick defense is what did it, because it's a Belichick defense. But, like, if you look at the whole sustained run, bro, and look at the numbers of the offense and how Brady contributed to that offense, you got to go Brady, man. And then Brady, note the fact, Brady left and won another one.
True.
So,
he did, but he kind of did take Gronk with him too. Get that.
True, man, LeBron do it all the time.
I thought about this, man, and I look at it and I'm like, football is the ultimate team sport. So you really can't say one person deserves the credit, because you had those teams that had that put into the work of making those teams great, and to making those teams get to the point to be able to be in a Super Bowl. I'm still going back and forth with it, but if I had to, I'm gonna have to lean Belichick, man. I gotta lean Belichick on this one.
Ooh.
Belichick,
for what reasons?
The system. the system that Belichick put into place. I mean, because I went back, I had to do a little research. You know, he was the head coach at was Cleveland before that. He took that Cleveland team to the playoffs. He went 11-5. I think it was 11-5 with them in '96. Basically with the same system. Then he came to him and Tom both got to New England at the same time. But if people don't realize, Drew Bledsoe was actually the starting quarterback before Tom Brady. And
he came to Buffalo right afterwards.
Yeah, he did. But Tom went in and kind of never gave the position back. Never gave the starting position back to Bledsoe. But I'm gonna have to lean Belichick for this particular reason right here. I think the system that he brought in set Tom Brady up for success. Because if you even go and look at the Tampa Bay Super Bowl, you can kind of see some of the Patriot system in that as well. I think he threw it around a little bit more at Tampa Bay.
The receivers to do it.
Yeah.
He didn't really have. He made receivers in New England. Like the only receiver that he was gifted was Randy.
Oh no, he had Julian Edelman. You got to think about he had Julian Edelman.
That was you understand. Julian Edelman was a quarterback. He made Julian Edelman.
Well, Julian Edelman was a quarterback in what, college?
Yes, he made Julian Edelman.
But they
a household name.
Yeah, but they was like, in order for you to do that, you have to switch the receiver. But it was another Danny Amendola. He had Danny Amendola.
A household name.
You know what I'm saying?
Russ Welker. He played for the Dolphins. He made him a household name.
Did he make
household name?
Did he make him a household name, or was it the fact that Belichick took those guys and was like, look, you come play this particular style of slot receiver and you will be great? Because Julian Edelman won a Super Bowl MVP.
I would agree with that if he was an offensive minded coach.
Okay.
Belichick is a defensive minded coach.
We know that. But who's what's your boy name? I can't think of his name.
Josh McDaniels.
Yes, McDaniels. Okay. All right. Okay. So you would say, okay, so you make I lean, like I said, I lean Belichick, but now you kind of make me want to go back to Brady on this. But could it be Josh McDaniels deserves more credit?
McDaniels had his shot and he blew it.
Okay, so see what I'm saying? So could this be Belichick's system?
Bro, you got to think about, look how great Tom Brady really is. Like Tom Brady was just great in college. If it weren't for Brian Greasy, he would have a national championship. I mean, he was behind Brian Greasy, but
I'm about to say, what you talking about? Okay, go ahead.
I went behind Brian Greasy, but like, bro, he was that good. He's a winner, bro.
Tom Brady. Let's look at those first 3 Super Bowls. Okay, because
I would say in those first 3 Super Bowls, it was more. If we talking Super Bowls, that's why I preferenced it. We talking Super Bowls, I would go Belichick's defense. First 3, but if you look at the numbers, you can argue it. But me and you, we know football, so first 3, I would go Bill Belichick's defense.
Okay. Yeah, because you got to think about it.
Yeah, Teddy Bruschi. He had Mike, man, bro. The list goes on about it.
I go back and forth on this, man, because like I said, you can go either way with one of those guys, but I still think I don't know, man. It's hard for me to pick a guy, but I lean Belichick.
That's an all-day conversation.
It is.
Got a quarter to do it.
You're right. But I lean Belichick because I think Belichick's system is the one that sets Brady up to be. Because let's look. The first 3. Okay, so if you're looking at the run. Because in between there, I think it was a 10-year window before they even went back to the Super Bowl or something like that.
All right. Let me ask you this. If it's the system, why can't you just plug in a quarterback?
I think he has his quarterback. I think Mac Jones is the guy for the system. He's a game manager.
I won't argue. I like that. I won't argue that. But if it's just a pick and play system, Tom Brady won immediately with that system. He won immediately in Tampa Bay.
But you got to think about but like you said, it was a defensive culture. Like he's a defensive minded coach. The defensive culture was set up. Just like, okay, for example, let's look at Eli Manning in his first Super Bowl with the Giants. He won that Super Bowl off of the defense alone. You could have argued in the first Super Bowl, Michael Strahan should have won MVP.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You could have or you can look at Peyton Manning in his second Super Bowl with the Broncos. We all know the Broncos defense won that game for them. All Peyton had to do.
Miller and DeMarcus Webb.
Exactly.
DeMarcus Webb.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it and I'm like, was it really Tom Brady in those first years with Belichick, or was it Belichick's system of having a defense that helps you win championships? Because if you think about it, Nick Saban came from the Belichick tree. And if you think about those early Alabama national championships, what were those teams like?
Yeah, they're bred on defense.
Exactly.
D'Amico Ryans, all them boys
Yeah.
like that.
So
the thing why I would say and why I went Brady, because even though, and I had to see, I peeped this today as I was doing my research. The man never had a top team. I mean, his team was never outside the top 10 in points scored. And he barely and he was barely out of the top 10 in like I think like 4 years in yards. So I'm like, I gave Belichick a lot for that defense, but Tom was holding up his end of the bargain.
Well, you sit there. Well, you recently just said, why can't you just plug a quarterback into play? Now, if you look at the 2008 season, Matt Castle was a quarterback, and they went 11-5. I mean, so I'm like,
11-5. Those are winning seasons, bro. But
I mean, I know they didn't win. I know they didn't win a ring, but they still went 11-5 and they made the playoffs. So I mean,
he went 5-0 with Jimmy Garoppolo and Jacoby Brissett.
The system is available. Okay, now I'm leaning back Belichick. So basically, it's the Belichick system of who he brings in.
Winning champions. We can go. He's going to get you a playoff appearance. I like the system to get you a playoff appearance. He can coach
by the law.
He's a coach.
By the law of averages, if I stay in a system so long and I'm able to get players in my system, I should be able to win a Super Bowl at least once or twice.
All right, so
hold on.
The system was so great. If the system was so great, why years that Tom Brady had number one offenses, Bill Belichick defense was still coming in 25th and 31st in the league out of 32 teams in points and yards allowed.
But they didn't win though.
System.
But they didn't win.
He still took them to the Super Bowl.
But they didn't win. I mean, because you got if you're looking at it, there's a period of time. I think it's like a 10-year period from the last Super Bowl they got.
You realize
from the last Super Bowl they got to what they got. They didn't win. Say it again now.
I said, you realize Wes Welker never won a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I know that.
That's crazy.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. But
in those times, Bill Belichick's defense was suspect. Go look
exactly. So you're making my point. So if Bill Belichick is a defensive-minded coach, his system is built on defense. And then if your defense is not great, but your offense is still scoring out of that, that tells me that it has to be Belichick's system that has to deserve more credit than Brady. Because if Brady was that good, and your team is still scoring points, you should still win. You still win Super Bowls, right? But in that time period, they weren't winning. They weren't winning Super Bowls.
He was still taking them.
They went to the Super Bowl, what, twice and got beat?
They got there.
All right.
And then he went to Tampa Bay, no training camp, no nothing, and won another Super Bowl.
You make a great point there.
Bro.
You make a great point.
Like, at first I was on your team. I thought Belichick. Then that young man now pulled that right there off. I'm like,
You make a great point. I'm going to still lean Belichick in this situation, but you can't go wrong with either one of them, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, can't argue.
You can't go wrong with either one of them. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us know. You reach out to us and let us know how you feel about it. All right, we appreciate it, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. That was the end of the second quarter. Hey, Marcus, it's time for halftime.
You don't out your seats. It's halftime.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in halftime right now. Oh, man, it is great, man. First off, thank y'all so much for sticking with us. Tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk, the coolest podcast in your ear every Wednesday. We are here. Follow us on our social medias. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. Again, that's on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. Again, Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. That's on Twitter at CoolestPod23. Email us if you want to contact us, WCTpod@gmail.com. Again, that's WCTpod@gmail.com. And again, go like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Because guess what? Content is coming on YouTube soon, ladies and gentlemen. Search us on YouTube at Water Cooler Talk Podcast in the search bar. Again, that is Water Cooler Talk Podcast in the search bar on YouTube. Also, like and rate the podcast. It helps us out. We're trying to make it full time, ladies and gentlemen. So we appreciate it. Thank you so much, Marcus.
Yes, sir.
Man, we in halftime right now, man. We got about 5-6 minutes before the guys come back out. Oh, man. So, I was watching The Untold. I actually watched 2 of them, but
I like Jenna Manziel.
I thought Jenna Manziel's was good. I thought it was good. But I just finished watching Swamp Kings, the one on the Florida Gators.
Ooh, I gotta watch that one.
Bruh, when I tell you, Urban Meyer had them dudes training like they was about to go to Iraq.
Man,
Like,
man, that was my dude. But I used to fuck with Urban. I mean, mess with Urban.
yeah, man. Urban Meyer had them dudes training like they was about to go to Iraq. Like, he had these drills that these guys were doing. He had mat drills. Like, you get on top of a guy, and then the guy had to hold you, but you had to fight the guy to get off of the mat. I was like, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, bruh. And what I also realized from that documentary is too, man, I know a lot of people would be like, oh, Tim Tebow was the center of that. Nah, that was all Urban Meyer, man. Urban Meyer was in the middle of that. Everything that happened in Gainesville was around Urban Meyer, man. I need y'all to go see
in that time period that I get so mad that people don't bring up.
Who?
Percy Harvin, bro.
You got a point.
People don't talk about how good Percy Harvin was in that time period.
Percy Harvin could have been a Heisman Trophy winner.
Bro.
He could have won the Heisman Trophy. Man. You know the best comparison, the best comp that I can give to Percy Harvin?
Who?
Reggie Bush.
That's high praise in college.
Yeah, I think Percy Harvin was just as good as Reggie Bush was in college, man. Like, electrifying with the ball in their hand. Percy Harvin was great.
What do you put Honey Badger at?
That's actually a great question, man. Tyrann Mathieu. What would I put him? Okay, when you say what would I put him, what do you mean? Like all-time defensive backs or what?
Like, it's like you said exciting player with the ball in their hand. So,
I mean, but he was on defense though.
He also did kick return, punt return.
I mean, he wasn't as exciting as Percy Harvin or Reggie Bush, but he was,
he had his times.
He had his moments.
He had his times.
He had his moments, but I'm not gonna put him up there with those guys. I mean, I don't know. I gotta look at that one. But I'm gonna also tell you what that doc also told. What watching that documentary. It's a 4-part documentary. It's on Netflix. And the one thing that I watched, I'm gonna tell you, is that Tim Tebow was a great football player, but Tim Tebow was not a great quarterback.
No, he wasn't.
He was not a great quarterback at all.
But the thing about it was, he was a winner.
Okay.
Even in Denver, he proved he could win.
Well, yeah, he won a playoff game at Denver. He did.
He got replaced the next year.
But that was so sad, bro. I was like, man, the man won a playoff game for y'all, man. Give him another chance.
Give him a shot, bro.
Give him a chance. But he couldn't throw. He can't throw the ball.
It was a good slant.
You know what I'm saying? Like his mechanics were like awful, bro. Like the way he would throw the ball, it was like come down and come back up.
Now that's a system.
That I don't look. Tim Tebow, great football player. Look, great football player. Top 2 college football players of all time. One of the top 2 college football players of all time.
Ooh. So who is two?
Two. Who was two?
Who is one?
One?
Yeah.
Cameron Newton.
Ooh.
Cameron Newton is great.
Not his backup.
I'm telling you right now, man. I'm telling you right now, bro. Cam Newton, if Cam Newton would have played 2 seasons at Auburn, if he would have played an extra season at Auburn, which we know he won because dude was just that talented. If he would have played 2 seasons at Auburn,
from quarterback I ever seen.
if he would have played 2 seasons at Auburn, bruh, he would have won another national championship. If he would have played 3 seasons, he would have won. If he would have played 3 seasons at Auburn, Cam Newton would have became a better passer, and he would have won 2 national championships at Auburn. Tell you that right now. But that was his junior year that he played. But if he would have played another year, he would have been in contention to win another national championship. He would have been in contention. I don't think they would have won that year because you had a lot of seniors leave off that Auburn team that year, and you would have had a lot of guys come in after that were just starting to get real playing time. But they would have been in contention though. I'll tell you that now. I'll tell you that. But yeah, man, I need y'all to go watch Swamp Kings because that was a great documentary, man. I enjoyed that, man. Oh, wait a minute, what is that? Is that the crowd? Oh man. Oh boy, the crowd is hype, man. I see the teams coming out, man. We about to hit up this third quarter, ladies and gentlemen. So y'all get ready because we about to head into the third quarter.
We've now entered the third quarter.
Woo! That was a great halftime. How did you feel about that, Marcus?
Man, very, very great halftime. Very good chill period.
Yeah, it was.
But my boys, they ready, man. They ready.
Yeah, this game has been kind of sort of like, we've been kind of breezing by, man. Maybe I don't know, man. Hopefully, it looked like the other team ready to go, so we just gotta, we gotta stay ready. Like we gotta stay ready, man. So hopefully this other team don't come back up on us, man. But we're in the third quarter right now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. And we're going back to college football.
Right around.
We are going back to college football. We're gonna talk about a discussion that has been on my mind for a while now. And the question for the third quarter topic is Dabo Swinney a top 3 coach right now, Marcus? Is Dabo Swinney a top 3 coach right now?
With Urban Meyer being gone, I think he has the best resume to be a top 3 coach. I don't see who you would put up over him. Next up under him should be Jim Harbaugh at 4. But like, so who is like my top 3 is right now would be Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, and Dabo. He stay in the top 10 area. He stay competitive. He keep a nice little defense. He had a suspect little quarterback a couple years that didn't do what he was supposed to do. That had high hopes. But who else? Who would you put in the top 3? And they're gonna anxious to hear who you got over Dabo.
Bruh, listen, man. Listen. I see where y'all come with Dabo being a top 3 coach. I mean, because when you turn on college football, who are the top 2 coaches you hear about all the time? Nick Saban and Kirby Smart. Those are the top 2 coaches you hear all the time.
I hear about Dabo.
Okay, let me ask you this question. When you turn on sports talk, what 2 college brands do they talk about the most?
Alabama and Georgia right now. But I hear about Dabo when he do crazy stuff. Every time Dabo do something out and Dabo keep doing crazy stuff. Dabo, man.
Look, I'm gonna say this, man. I was on the fence about this one too, but I kind of lean to the no. I don't think Dabo's a top 3 coach right now. I don't.
Who you got over? And please give me some justification behind who you pick.
I'm going Brian Kelly.
Woo!
At LSU. I think Brian Kelly may be a better coach than Dabo Swinney.
Please explain that one.
All-time winning coaches listen to college football right now. Right now. Saban 284. Kirk, I don't know how to say this guy's last name, but the head coach at Iowa, 185. Brian Kelly, 175. Dabo Swinney, 161. Brian Kelly has won more games than Dabo Swinney. And if you think about it, Brian Kelly has taken some of those when he was at Notre Dame, he's taken a lot of those Notre Dame teams to national championships. Now, but he ran up against, one year he ran up against the Alabama team and got blew out.
Yeah, he ran up against Tua and his unknown person. He said Tua.
Mantateo. Listen.
Mantateo and an unknown person. And
I think Brian Kelly may be a better coach. Brian Kelly came into LSU. He took LSU to the SEC championship game his first year. Poised to take them back this year to the SEC championship game because I think LSU will win the West. I think LSU wins the West. Take that back. I think LSU and Texas A&M are just because of the talent that Texas A&M have on their roster and what LSU has coming back. I think those two teams are vying for the West. In my personal opinion.
So I have a question. You said he had more wins than Dabo?
Yeah, he got more wins than Dabo.
How long has he been coaching?
Who, Brian Kelly?
Yeah, how long has he been coaching?
That I don't know. I don't know, but I know he has more total wins than Dabo.
That should equate to more wins if you've been coaching longer.
Okay. Peyton Manning played longer than Drew Brees. What that supposed to mean? And we had that conversation last week. What that supposed to mean? That's all I'm saying. I don't. What you trying to say? What you trying to say? LeBron went to more finals than Michael, but Michael has more titles, more finals than LeBron does.
See, championships and wins are two different things.
You got a point. You got a point there. But I will say this though. Why I don't put him up there right now is because Dabo won national championships with two otherworldly generational quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. Looking at it, he's 2-4 in the CFP, 2-4 in CFP games. So lost to Bama in national championship game. He lost to Bama in the 15-16 season with Deshaun Watson as quarterback, came back, beat Bama again the following year with Deshaun Watson as quarterback. Then in the 18-19 season, they beat Bama with Trevor Lawrence as the quarterback, and then lost to LSU the following season, the 19-20 season, with Trevor Lawrence as quarterback. And then the following season after that, in the 2020-2021 season, they lost to Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl semifinals. So I'm looking at it and I'm like,
that was a playoff game, right?
Those were playoff games, yes they were. And those were championship games as well. Those four that I mentioned before were championship games. The last one I mentioned was a semifinal game. I look at it and I'm like, when can you win without a great quarterback? Do you remember the quarterback Brian Kelly had when he took Notre Dame to the national championship? Exactly. Kirby Smart won 2 national championships with a walk-on, Stetson Bennett. Nick Saban won a national championship with a backup that left Florida State in Jake Coker. And he went to a national championship game with a converted running back at quarterback and Blake Sims. You have to give me more than that.
Dabo also won with a freshman at quarterback.
Trevor Lawrence, who's a generational quarterback, who's the starting quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars right now.
He still was a freshman. That still took a lot.
Nick Saban won with Tua as a freshman.
But that was Jalen Hurts.
Come on.
That was Jalen Hurts' work, bro. Let's
come on, bro.
Let's not. He had the game the night of the national championship, but without Jalen Hurts getting them there, that was a come on, bro. Let's not do that right now.
Jalen Hurts couldn't throw at that time. He could not throw.
And he went to the Lincoln Riley camp of passing.
He went to Lincoln Riley's camp.
And I hate that Bama fans be trying to be trying to claim him.
But you can't, but they can though. The man, he chose Bama.
Out of here, bro.
He chose Bama.
Bro, the Jalen Hurts that y'all taking credit for, Lincoln Riley made because he built Heisman quarterbacks.
Well, yeah, you got a point there. But the man still went there. He still went to the University of Alabama. That's all I'm gonna say. He still went there.
I ain't gonna say what I'm gonna say.
Go ahead. I mean, let the people hear it. The people want to know. The people want to hear. The people want to hear.
I'm gonna say, and Rich Boy went to Tuskegee University.
Let me stop, man. Hey, let's get out of that. Let's get out of that right there, man. Let's get out of that, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. We not gonna get out of that. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, man. That's pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. We going to the ladies and gentlemen. Time to throw at them fours, man. Because guess what? We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all.
We have now arrived at the fourth quarter.
Oh boy, we are in the fourth quarter. We moving along, ladies and gentlemen, and we are about to get into a debate that I think me and Marcus had trouble with. Had trouble.
Man, very, very, very much trouble.
We had trouble with it. But we thank y'all so much for tuning in. Keep listening to the Water Cooler Talk every Wednesday. We are here. Oh, so we're in the fourth quarter, man. And the topic for the fourth quarter that we're going to talk about today is who are the top 5 receivers in the NFL right now? Who do you have as the top 5, your top 5 receivers in the NFL right now? Marcus, I've been waiting to hear this.
So number 1, I'm gonna go Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
You know, he had 128 receptions, 1,809 yards, 8 TDs, and he won the Offensive Player of the Year. So, you know, I'm gonna go with him at number 1. Okay. Number 2, I got Tyreek, 1,710 yards, 7 TDs on 119 receptions. So I'm gonna have to go with him at number 2. Number 3, I'm gonna have to go Jamar Chase. He only played 12 games and he still put up over 1,000 yards and led his team in receptions and yardage. So I'm gonna have to go with him. Shouts out to my boy Jamar. And number 4, I'm gonna go Devontae Adams.
Okay.
Even though his quarterback situation was suspect, he still ended up having 100 receptions and, you know, 1,516 yards and 14 TDs. He led the league in touchdowns. My dude gets in the zone. And 5, this is what Nick don't have a problem with. But, you know, I had to go with the home team. Shouts out to my boy. They got you in rumor talks, but you ain't going nowhere. You said it on Twitter. 5 is gonna be Stephon Diggs.
All right, I think he ain't going nowhere.
Hey, Nick, shut up.
Okay,
Nick, I'm praying Stephen A. wrong. Usually when Stephen A. say this, he be right.
You right. You got a point. Right. You got a point. You think he ain't going nowhere.
And that one thing I be saying when he be saying his sources, boy. He be having some sources, boy.
You think he ain't going nowhere, but we'll see. But I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
So number 5, I got Stephon, man. You know, that's to round out my list. And 6, I had AJ Brown.
Okay.
Just one on the outside.
AJ Brown at 6. Justify this for me. Justify that order for me, sir.
Well, personally, Stephon Diggs doesn't have a solidified number 2 option. That's the reason why I lean more Stephon Diggs than AJ Brown because he's carrying more of the workload in Buffalo. AJ Brown, to me, he also has a tremendous run game.
True. He
has a tremendous O-line. He has a tremendous second option, and you can argue his third option in Watkins.
True.
Is very nice.
Very true.
So you can't really you try to man them up, they're gonna punish you either way. So
Yep.
that opens up a lot of more opportunities for AJ Brown to get the job done. So that's why I'm gonna lean Stephon Diggs on this one. So I'm anxious to hear your list, though, nigga. Go ahead and tell the world who your top 5 is.
Yeah, man, I had trouble with this. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. America, ladies and gentlemen, I had trouble with this. I did, but as of right now, this is my 5. At number 5, I'm going Jamar Chase. Number 1 option is Cincinnati for my boy Joey B. Joe Burrow's number 1 option and his college teammate that he won a national championship at LSU. So yeah, I'm going Jamar Chase, as he stated before. 87 catches, 1,046 yards. Averaging 12 yards per catch average. 9 touchdowns. Only played 12 games last year. He got hurt a little bit. But I did some math. And averaging roughly about 87, 88 yards per game he was receiving. If he would have played 17 games, he would have had close to 1,500 yards last year, ladies and gentlemen. And probably would have had closer to 13 touchdowns. So yeah, Jamar Chase is at 5. Number 4. This man at one point in time was probably considered the best wide receiver in the NFL. And I'm going by a young man by the name of Davante Adams, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Rodgers' old pitch and catch buddy in Green Bay. 100 catches, played all 17 games. Over 1,500 yards, averaging about 15 yards per catch. 14 touchdowns for Mr. Davante Adams. As he said last year, he had problems with quarterback position in Las Vegas with the Raiders. Derek Carr apparently is now in New Orleans with the Saints, who is the second best team in the NFC South, by the way. But yeah, Davante Adams is number 4.
Stay tuned.
Number 3, ladies and gentlemen, and I think this young man right here, who I'm about to put at number 3, could actually right now make an argument to be the number 1 wide receiver in the league right now at number 3. He can make an argument and be that number 1 receiver. I'm talking about that man out there in Los Angeles. Cooper Kupp, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. Cooper Kupp was hurt last year, but guess what? He played 9 games, 812 yards, 75 catches, averaging almost 11 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns. Did a little math. He was averaging roughly about 90 yards per game by the time he got injured. He could have ended up with over 1,500 yards receiving and closer to 11, 12 touchdowns. Now, just to give you an idea of how good Cooper Kupp is, in 2021, Cooper Kupp played in all 17 games. He had 145 catches, almost 2,000 yards of receiving, averaging right about 13.5 yards per catch and 16 touchdowns, ladies and gentlemen. Cooper Kupp is that deal. And not to mention, he was the Super Bowl MVP when the Rams won the title. So, Cooper Kupp actually could be the number 1 option, number 1 receiver in football. Number 2, Justin Jefferson. Mark has already stated 128 catches, 1,800 yards, over 1,800 yards receiving, 8 touchdowns, averaging 14 yards per catch, and Offensive Player of the Year last year. Justin Jefferson, number 2. And number 1, I'm going with that man out of the University of West Alabama, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is the most explosive wide receiver in the league right now. When Tyreek Hill touches the ball, he is almost like Steph Curry. You have to guard him as soon as he steps on the court. And when Tyreek touches the ball, there is an opportunity that Tyreek will take it to the house every single time he touches it. 119 catches, 1,700 yards of receiving, averaging 14.5 yards per catch, 7 touchdowns. Played in all 17 games, ladies and gentlemen. Tyreek Hill right now, at this moment, it's the number 1 receiver in the NFL.
Question for you.
Go ahead.
Why did you put Tyreek Hill over Justin Jefferson?
Tyreek Hill is more explosive than Justin Jefferson.
One will argue, Waddle being on the other side, he sees a lot of single coverage now.
And what's supposed to mean?
So Justin Jefferson doesn't benefit from that same legion. He still had more receiving yard.
You're right. You got a point. Tyreek Hill is more explosive, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I'm just
Tyreek Hill is more explosive.
Bringing up some pointers,
It's literally 99 yards more, 100 yards more than he has. Justin Jefferson has 100 yards more receiving yards than last year than Tyreek Hill. So Tyreek Hill decided, all right, I'm gonna just chill and not get these other 50 per game. That's really what Tyreek Hill probably did. Probably ended up doing that. Tyreek Hill is special, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, he is legitimately a threat. Every time he steps on the field, Tyreek Hill is a legitimate threat to score the football every single time he touches it.
All right. I'm going to give you some game about Justin Jefferson.
Go ahead.
Justin Jefferson is the youngest player to ever have the most seasons over 1,600 yards. The people on this list are Justin Jefferson, Calvin Johnson, Torrey Holt, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Marvin Harrison.
Okay.
It took Calvin Johnson 9 years, Torrey Holt 11 years, Antonio Brown 12 years.
To do what?
To have, these are the career. This is the career span. They saying he did it the quickest with 3 years, or 3 years played.
Okay, wait. So are you saying he did it the fastest in 3 years to do what?
Man, that kid is a generational talent. You said Tyreek is a generational talent.
No. I'm asking. You said in 3 years he did what? What did he do in 3 years?
He had 2 1,600-yard receiving seasons.
Okay.
He's the youngest to ever do it.
Okay. Tyreek Hill is still more explosive.
Okay. Hey, listen, man, I'm a Tyreek Hill fan.
Still more explosive.
I'm just giving you some facts about this young man who you picked Tyreek over. That's what I'm here for.
You're right. That's what this debate is about. You need to tell me why I need to move Justin Jefferson to 1 when I can clearly see
Buffalo game.
Because when I can clearly see and tell you that Cooper Kupp could easily be 1.
That Buffalo game? We talk about explosive. We talking about making catches when it matters. That young man is a game time player.
All of them make catches when it matters. That's not a problem. They can all make catches when it matters. But why is Justin Jefferson more? Why is he, in your opinion, why is Justin Jefferson, why is he deserving of being the number 1 receiver in the NFL right now over Tyreek Hill? Go.
Offensive Player of the Year award. That alone speaks for itself.
We had this conversation last week, ladies and gentlemen. And like I told Marcus, those awards are voted on by the media. That's why I put more stock into Super Bowl MVPs and
he has more receiving yards.
Finals MVPs. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say it again now.
And he has more receiving yards. And I think more touchdowns.
He has 1 more touchdown than Tyreek Hill. He has 100. If you want to be technical, he has 99 more yards receiving than Tyreek Hill. And that's with your boy.
Has help.
And that's with your boy Kirk Cousins at quarterback.
Justin Jefferson getting doubled and triple teamed.
Okay. All right. We'll just have to agree to disagree. We'll have to agree to disagree. I'm
like I said, I'm a Tyreek Hill fan. So me myself, I'm just giving you the perspective of a Justin Jefferson fan.
Right now, I'm putting Tyreek at 1. And Cooper Kupp comes back healthy this year. Cooper Kupp.
Matter of fact, I didn't get to touch on that. That was a great pick.
Cooper Kupp may slide up to that number 1 position, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm gonna say. He may slide up to that number 1 position.
If his quarterback healthy.
You talking about Stetson Bennett, the two-time national champion winning quarterback at Georgia? That's what you're talking about? The young man that everybody looks over.
Out of here.
Maybe Matthew Stafford about to retire,
Matthew
man.
Stafford out of here.
It's about time for old Matt to go ahead and hang up the cleats. He got one. He got one. Go on, Matt. Go on, little Matt. Little
So
Matt
you saying that should be enough for him, bro?
Yeah, he got one. He good. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, man, thank y'all, man. That was good. That was a good quarter, man. Let's go ahead and head to the post game, baby. We'll talk about it a little bit more there.
It's time to shut down in the post game.
Boy, man, we in the post game, man. That was a good game, man. That game felt kind of contentious at time in the second half. It's kind of confusing a little bit because we was on the fence a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was on the fence. But, we came out with a W. Ladies and gentlemen, right now we are announcing in the post game that starting next week, Marcus and I will be picking 6 games a week, 4 from college, 2 from the NFL. And we will be keeping track of the winning totals for each week. And at the end of the regular season, whoever is the loser will have to get ice water dumped on them for losing.
I'm going to just tell you like this. If I get water dumped on me, I'm showing up at every university, every facility that lost me a match. We're going to have a conversation.
So, starting next week, we'll be picking those games. So, be on the lookout. It's going to be pretty good, man. It's going to be fun. Oh, boy. That was good. Anything else you want to say, Marcus? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Shouts out to people at home. Y'all know who y'all are. Fans, keep tuning in. We're going to keep bringing the content.
Yeah, man. We are. Oh, guess what, Marcus? It's that time.
What time is it, Nick?
It's that time to give out that award.
Hey, people they're gonna look at me crazy as them, but I just gotta speak on it.
Okay.
I'm gonna speak when I speak, and I'm gonna speak how I speak.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? It's that time to give out that award that everybody loves, but the person that get it hates.
Give it up for the Water Boy Award.
Gatorade.
H2O. Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
Mr. Fitzpatrick, the floor is yours. Who are you giving the Water Boy Award to this week, boss man?
So the Water Boy Award this week will go to. This is gonna be a crazy one, but I just want to speak on it because it hit my heart. I'm giving it to you, Skip Bayless. You keep going out, getting all these ESPN leftovers and try to fill your show because you made a bad decision by letting Shannon escape. So I'm giving it to you this week. You want to get all the ESPN leftovers because you messed up.
Oh, my God.
And now Stephen A. and Shannon finna go have a great show while everybody finna forget about Fox Sports.
No,
and that's your fault.
Lord
so,
Jesus.
if you really want to come get some people, come get me and Nick, and we'll make your show better.
Yeah, we'll come make your show better. Skip.
We'll make your show better. You going to get Richard Sherman, and everybody know that you and Richard Sherman don't like each other.
Bruh.
You going to get Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson win nobody.
Keyshawn Johnson was actually pretty good.
He decent, but if we get into that, that's a whole different conversation. To me, that's a conversation about the most overrated wide receivers. But that's a different situation.
Ooh.
We ain't gonna even talk about that because I'm giving my water cooler award to who I'm giving it to. Skip, this is for you. Come sit by me. Come talk. This is for you, brother.
Well,
leave them folks alone. Build your own show the right way. Well, it is your show, but build it with the right people. Don't just go get any and everybody.
You know what's funny about that? You remember? I don't know if you remember, but it was when Skip was on First Take, and Richard Sherman came on there and was like, Skip, I don't think you're the best 24 of anything.
Exactly. What are you good in?
Yeah, what are you good at? You know what, Skip? In my 27 years of life,
I'm about to finna watch that every day, Nick. I'm not gonna tune in the box to watch that every day.
Ain't that what Richard Sherman? Ain't that what he told him?
Yeah,
in
bro,
my it was 24 or 27. He's like, in my 24 years of life, I'm better at life than you.
Oh my God.
I said, what in the world, man? Hey, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, go Google that clip.
Go back and watch it.
Go
Bro.
YouTube that clip of Richard Sherman on First Take with Skip Bayless. Bro, that was so funny, bro. Hey,
Everybody know, bro.
hey, Skip, go ahead and take a sip of this cool water, Skip. Boy, in 24 years of life, I'm better at life than you. What the world?
How you gonna go? Like you just had Shannon on your show, and you gonna pull that right now, bro?
Hey, Skip.
Hey, you sound
Come on,
just like
Skip. Skip, what you talking about? Skip, stop, Skip. Come on, Skip. You gonna talk about me and I'm in the Hall of Fame?
I'm in the Hall of Fame.
I'm in the Hall of Fame,
Hey,
Skip.
that right there
Skip.
was the beginning of the end.
Skip. Come on,
That
Skip.
was the beginning of the end. Nick.
Ah,
People didn't even
Skip.
realize it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's funny, man. Oh, my God. Hey, man. But, yeah, apparently it's not a done deal, but apparently he's supposed to be going to First Take on ESPN.
I hope they make that happen.
That'd be nice, man. Him and I think it's supposed to be Monday and Tuesdays from what I read, but it's not a done deal yet, so we don't know. So until it is official, allegedly, Shannon Sharp is going to ESPN. So we don't know if that's official or not. We're just reading what we read off of other blog sites. But when it is official, I hope Unc let us know because, football season is getting close. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure we'll probably hear something this week about, where he's going and things of that nature, but hopefully we'll see.
What happened to Michael Irvin?
Michael Irvin got in some trouble.
Yeah, I know about the trouble, but he should have beat that case. I thought he counseled.
I don't know what's going on with that. But I hope he ends up coming up out of that, on the right side. So because I enjoy seeing Michael Irvin on TV.
On TV,
especially when he be going on them rants about the Cowboys, boy.
Boy, it'd be hilarious.
Man, we will rise up and we will take back over what it is that we need.
I gotta see one this year.
Oh my God, man.
So, question before we get out of here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Probably it could be a teaser for next week. Do you feel who should be on the hot seat more, Dak Prescott or Mike McCarthy?
I would save that for next. Well, we can't save it for next week, because next week is our Auburn episode. So, at this moment in time, right now, hot seat, Mike McCarthy. I'm gonna go Mike McCarthy. My short answer right now. I'm going Mike McCarthy right now.
Stay tuned. We'll get back into it.
We will come back to that. Oh man, this has been a great show, man, and we hope y'all think it's been a great show, man. As always, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on our social medias, man. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Water Cooler Talk. Follow us on Twitter at CoolersPod23. Again, follow us on Twitter at CoolersPod23. Email us, reach out to us on WCTpod@gmail.com. Again, that's WCTpod@gmail.com. Hey, you listening to this right now? Yeah, you. No, you. Yeah, you. You listening to this right now? Rate and review the podcast, man. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. Rate and review the podcast. It helps us out. It helps more people get a chance to listen to us and come interact and become part of the Water Cooler Talk family and come sit around with us every Wednesday. Rate and review the podcast. And as always, go to YouTube. Search us on YouTube. Water Cooler Talk Podcast on YouTube. Search us on YouTube, Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel because the show that you're listening to now, the Water Cooler Talk that you're listening to now, eventually is going to be in audio form and you're going to be able to see it every Wednesday at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. every Wednesday on YouTube. So I suggest you all go and subscribe because we have a lot of things coming down the pike. Marcus, you got anything else to say before we get up out of here, boss?
Y'all go subscribe so I can go get a cut. So, when we get on TV, I can look right, because I got to look right for y'all. So subscribe. Like, if I'm going to spend my money, y'all need to just spend a click. Just click. It's a click of a button.
Yeah, man.
That's all we need.
That's all we ask.
So
we thank
do that
you.
for me.
Just subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. That's all we want to do. We want to do this full time. We want to keep bringing you content, and we want to keep bringing you quality content. So we appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much, man. Anything else before we get out of here, man? Because I know it's about that time. We are at our mark right now.
Deuces.
Oh, man. That man said deuces, man. He is out of here already. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all again. Y'all have a good one. Nah, better yet, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed. One love.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Water Cooler Talk. Make sure to follow us on our socials on Instagram and TikTok at Water Cooler Talk and on YouTube at The Coolest Pod 23. Also, make sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast player so that you never miss an episode.